Now we're going to download a model from Thingiverse and then import that model into our Tinkercad design, because what I'd like to do is add a crown to this figure. Now, first thing I'm going to do is search in Tinkercad to see if they have a crown already made, and they do. I can drag them out to see what they look like. That looks okay. This one, not sure what that is. I don't like that, so I'm going to delete that. And again, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but that's not what I'm looking for, so I'm going to delete that. Now, if I click on this crown and zoom in, I'm not going to be able to use this because you can see that where the little balls of the crown are, this part of the print is very thin. And when we try to print this model, that area or those areas at each of these points is likely to fail because there's just going to be a tiny little piece of filament holding that on. So unfortunately, there's no easy way we can thicken this model. If we resize it, it'll make it bigger and also a little bit thicker, but then it'll be too large to make sense on our model. So we'll delete that, click on my model and click F to focus. Instead, what we're going to do is go to Thingiverse and search for a crown. Again, this model, the first one, won't work because of those thin pieces. This is not what I'm looking for. This will be too thin. This middle one will be too thin. Likewise, this orange one. Looking for something that will be thicker. Almost. Maybe that would work. Let's see what's on the next page. This one looks good. It's thicker, but still, those pieces will be so small and detailed that they probably wouldn't print correctly. Nevertheless, I have an idea for modifying that one, so I'm going to click on it, click on Thing Files, and click Download. In my Downloads folder, you can see the crown. There it is. Back in Tinkercad, I'm going to click Import, choose File, Royal Crown, and Upload. And it says height 16. Okay, we'll say that that's okay and see what we get. All right, there it is. I'll drag that out and tap F on my keyboard to focus in. All right, I like the shape of it, but again, the details are too small to print well. But I have an idea of what I can do. What I'm going to do is click and drag out a cylinder. And notice how the sides of the cylinder are rough. I'm going to click this arrow and use the sides slider and push it all the way. And you'll see what happens is that makes the cylinder much more smooth. Now I'm going to look at these models from the top, move this over, and it's a little, you can tell that perspective view is on because I'm not looking straight down on this cylinder, right? You can see the side of it. So I'm going to click over here on the left-hand side and switch to orthographic view. So I'm looking straight down on these models. And I'm going to hold down my Shift key and grab one of these corners to increase the size of the cylinder. What I want it to do is to overlap a little bit with the crown. So that way when I join these two models, they'll be well and truly connected. So I'm going to click and drag to select both of them. Click the Align tool at the top here. Click the middle button to align them from side to side, and click this button to align them from front to back. And if you're not sure if these models are overlapping, you can click the crown and tap the T key on your keyboard. That will make it transparent. And let's see, I'll scroll in. Can't really tell if that's overlapping or not. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. And then center them again. Okay, I'm going to turn the crown solid by selecting it and tapping my T key again. And then I'm going to click the cylinder and make that transparent. Okay, so now you can clearly see that the cylinder is overlapping the crown. If I look at it from the side, click the cylinder, tap the T key to make it solid again, and I don't want it to be that tall. Let's say about like this. Okay, so it goes to the top, so those details. So you can see what that does is now the printer on the side of a print can handle detail, and I won't have any overhangs necessarily for these tiny pieces, and the little pieces won't break off because they're now attached to this solid piece here. So let's see, that is, the cylinder is 24.40 millimeters in diameter, and it is 16 millimeters tall. So what I'm going to do now is drag out a half a sphere, and I'm going to make that 24.4 by 24.4 and click off it. And I'm going to lift it up 16 millimeters, so it will be on the top of this. Look at both models from the top, center everything. Now I'll look at it from the side. Okay, so you can kind of see the effect I'm going for here. I don't want the dome to be that high though, so I'm going to bring that down, kind of flatten it, and look at it from the top again. Okay, that's getting to what I want. Now I'm going to drag out a full sphere. And again, if you focus in on the sphere, you can see that it's kind of rough. But again, I can use the step slider to smoothen that out a little bit. And we'll make it smaller. Let's say 10 by 10, 10 by 10 by 10. 3 dimensions here we need to fix. Okay, that might be a little big. I'm going to raise this up, look at it from the top, slide it over here. Again, make sure everything is centered. Look at it from the front. Okay, I need to lower this. That's a little big. I'm going to tap the F key to focus in. And let's try making it 8 by 8, maybe. By 8. Select everything. Center. Center. How's that look? Okay. That looks okay. Now I'm going to select everything and group it. All right. So there's our crown. Now we'll put it on our figure. Lift it up. Move it over. Look at it from the top so I can see better where to place it. And around there. Focus in. Needs to go up some more. I want it between the ears. And looking at it from the left. You can continue to tweak your models to get them the way that you like. I've changed the color to both of these models so that they're the same. And now I'm going to click and drag to select them both and group them. When you see the red outline disappear, you'll know that the grouping function has completed. Before I export the model though, I'm going to give it a different name, Lion with Crown, and then export as an STL. Now in my downloads folder, you can see the lion with a crown, and we're ready to slice and print. Here's the printed model.